What are you doing? What are you doing?
Trying to log into StreamYard.
Oh. Okay. All right, welcome to Fabric Chicks Live on Monday. I know we haven't done this in such a long time, but we're still super sick. It's kind of crazy. It's we had the flu, and then me and Devin got strep throat, and then Roger got pneumonia. So we're a hot mess here at Fabric Chicks, and it is just hanging on. Like, I literally did not get dressed or get up off the couch for, I don't know, it's before Christmas. Anyways, Devin's trying to log on. We haven't done this in so long. It's like signed us out of all of our accounts. But even though I was sick, I still did a little bit of samples and things in between taking naps. Victor, everybody I talk to says that it's lasting forever. Okay, so I'm going to show you. I did try to put some numbers on stuff because I don't want to take it all to Road to California, Phoenix, and then Albuquerque. We're leaving we leave Sunday, and then we don't get back until February 9th. But I will be doing lives from the road. January 9th, next Monday, I'll be interviewing on Quilt Show Reno. Change your date, Devin. Can you change it? Here, okay, hang on a second. Hang on. It takes a lot of work to change the date. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna do it because Devin is barely holding on to.
You have the computer, I got a phone.
Okay, well, what is today's date? Does anybody know what today's date is?
12.
January 12th.
Never mind.
2026. Okay. So it is like, I hope that none of you guys get this virus because it has been pretty deadly. Like, so exhausted. It's like something heavy sitting on our chests. But we're all done with our antibiotics, so I hope to get better soon, but I don't know. Oh, Connie, how are you feeling? I hope you're feeling better too. Okay, so we're going to show you, because we're not going to go the whole time, and I'm not going to do an auction because I can't talk that long. I'm just going to show you what we have been up to. So let me put this one on. So a lot of you guys have gotten the panels that I'm going to show you already, but we have made samples of them. So this panel here is, and I did a demo on this not too long ago using the heavyweight Temtex. You know, we like to do banners around here. So this this one is the Costume Makers Ball. And when we get it hung up here, I'll do like half of it at a time. When we get it hung up at Road to California, we'll do a tour of our booth also. And then this is the back side of this half. And then this is the other half of it. So I did double-sided because we hang it up on our booth so you can see it from both sides. But if you're at home, you could just do one side of this because you're going to hang it on a wall probably. So you could probably get 2 or 3 banners out of this. And then I did put the little wool felt balls down here. So in case you're interested and you didn't get the panel already, just in case you didn't get the panel already, you can get the panel at $158 for $11. $158 for $11. You can get the panel. And it's super easy. We just cut out along the a 1/4 inch past the dotted line. And then because you're going to have to slit a hole in here. Some people use a hole punch. I just did it with a seam ripper this time. It was so much easier than trying to do the hole punch and then finish the hole punch with the seam ripper. So I just kind of did a slit with my seam ripper, super easy. And then I put it on the Rick Rack that a lot of you guys already have, that black and white Rick Rack. So I just used that. If you need some of that Rick Rack, let me know. I didn't put a tag on it, but it is $1 a yard. So if you want this Rick Rack, it is $1 a yard. Just put Rick Rack and how many yards you want. And it's kind of tragic. Like the one good day I had in between the flu and strep throat, Devin and I tore apart the classroom so that we could reorganize everything. And so Devin, just show them, like my sewing area is covered with kits now because we're trying to get ready for the shows, but it was pretty organized. If you need felt balls, we do have the felt balls. We have a bag of them for $14.95, or you can get the whole garland of them for $24.95. So if you want a big garland of them, $24.95. If you want just the bag, $14.95. Okay, that's that one. If you want the kit with the 4 little felt balls that I used, the Rick Rack and the ribbon embellishments and the panel, 1561 is the kit. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better, Connie. Thank you for giving us a call. I haven't called you back. A lot of you guys have called us or texted us and left messages, but I have not called you back. Sorry. But I may or may not get to it eventually. Okay, the other one, Devin, come up here close. I finished this. A lot of you guys have this panel already. But I just bedazzled it. I added thread painting up here on these top ones. I added silks and yarns and like fibers and some netting. I used stitch and steam here in the center. So I actually used 2 panels because if you do the stitch and steam, it will, when you shrink it, it shrinks about 30% and it will distort your whole panel. So the center I cut out of a second panel and did the stitch and steam on these 2 big sunflowers. And then I also used the second panel for this dimensional. So I've got a dimensional flower here. So I cut the flower out and then I just put a back fabric on it and then did some thread painting, put it in Material Magic, scrunched it up and let it dry so that I can have that dimensional effect. And then down here, I just did silks and tulle and a little bit of avocado wrappers. And this green, we've had this green for a while, but I've never used it in anything. I absolutely love this green that we used for the binding. So I do have one extra kit. If you already have the panel and you just want the embellishment kit, I do have one extra one. If you let me know you need it. Otherwise, we have the panel, 2 panels, the binding fabric, and then the embellishments. All you would need is your backing fabric and your interfacing, your stabilizer for doing your thread painting. That's all you need to add to this. So S152 is $52 if you want the kit with all of the silks and embellishments. Suzette, it's past time for a nap. Okay, hang on a second. Let me write down Stephanie so I don't miss it. Bag of balls. Thank you, Sandy. It was really actually very fun to it was a fun one to do. And I really love those colors. It's so saturated in colors. I love it. So we do have that kit, and we'll do another bedazzled class. For those of you, I know there's a lot of you who've started, but you just need a little bit of a push to get going. If you want some of that green, S152 is $13 a yard. Hey, Ann, I think when we take this to Road to California, this stuff's not going to come back, I hope. So I always want to give you guys the first crack at it before we offer it to everybody else. And then the yarns and things that I used, the fibers that I used around the sunflower. And I did kind of a different thing. Usually I put them between wash away, stabilizer, and then I kind of stitched to keep it together. But all I did around this sunflower is I just took it and I just kind of twisted it. And then I just couched it. And couching just means you take a stitch here and there. I just kind of couched it around as I quilted it. So kind of a fun bundle of fibers. S1571 is $9.95. 1571. And then the other one, I mean, I had a list of all the samples I was going to get done because I had like 2 weeks between Christmas and getting, having to pack for Road to California. So I had so many. I cut up an old wedding ring quilt, and Lenny had threaded a serger for me. And so for the first time I used a serger, and I'm going to tell you, I do not know why. My mom taught home economics at the high school, and like we sewed in 4-H, like I sewed my whole life. But why my mom never owned a serger is literally baffling to me. And it's even more baffling that I've been in this industry for 40 years. And it took me this long to realize that I need a serger. So I sewed up 2 seams of the jacket that I'm making. I sewed up 2 seams with the serger. It was a miracle. It was so fast. It was so slick. The seams were so nice. Everything was so nice. And it somehow unthreaded, and I've YouTubed it. I've tried to figure out how to rethread it. I honestly cannot even see underneath it. I can't even see to figure out where the thread would go. So I'm super grateful that Lynn is coming on Wednesday. That's the first thing I'm going to have her do is fix that so I can finish that jacket out of the old wedding ring quilt. And then with the scraps from the wedding ring quilt, I got it. It was already pieces of it. So somebody else had already cut up the quilt. So I didn't feel bad cutting up the quilt, but I took some scraps and then I put them into a pair of jeans. And I didn't want to, actually Dockers. I didn't want to experiment on some of my good jeans that I know fit me really good. So I experimented on some jeans that somehow have just ended up here. And so they're kind of not the fit I would typically do, but they are super, super cute. But the gal who had them before in the arrivals of stuff we got, she must have been short because they were cut off. So now I had to add lace to the bottom of them to make them longer. So hopefully I can get that done up by Wednesday so I can show you those on Wednesday because it really is super cute. Oh, good, Lynn. I knew you would do it again for me. Anne's thinking of buying a serger. Anne, I'm going to tell you, I don't really know how I've lived this long without it. Just the 5 minutes that I used the serger, I was in love. Threading is a pain. Well, I think Lynn's going to show me the tricks so that it's not that hard. And I think that there's probably 3 sergers in this building. And so I think if I have Lynn thread them with different colors, then I never have to unthread them or rethread them. As long as I'm careful. I think I pulled on the fabric or something, and I think it snapped and came unthreaded. But we'll see. But Anne, I think maybe take a serger class take a serger class at Quilt Show Reno so you can try it out and see if you like it. And then you have experts there to give you tips and advice and stuff. Okay, let's see. Oh, Candy. Oh, your Quilt Guild meeting's on Monday. You definitely have to thread it in a certain order. Okay, let's see. Suzette has a cheat sheet. I might need a cheat sheet, but I think Lynn is used to working with people of special needs like me, so I think she'll be able to give me some tricks on how to thread it. Okay, no manual, Barb, no manual, but I did go on the line and I did Google it. Jenny, I've heard about the air threaders. Some people, I have heard when I was Googling it and trying to figure out how to do it, there was like mixed opinions on the air threader, because I was thinking about just like getting an air threader because I don't have time to struggle. But there was kind of mixed opinions online about the air threader being even more complicated than the old ones. So Phyllis says and Rondi, everybody says they've got the self threaders. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to see about it because I'm gonna see how hard this one is on Wednesday when Lynn comes to thread it, because literally it's so like it's a dream for those of you who haven't used a serger like me. Because I really didn't think I needed one. It is amazing. I don't know, Anne, but I'm assuming that an air threader, you put the thread where it needs to go, you hit the button, and the air takes and threads it so you don't have to. It's like kind of like a Bewitched sewing machine. You like twitch your nose and it just threads itself. Okay, so the other sample that we did was using this panel S151. So a lot of you guys have gotten this panel in the past, and I have cut it and sold like one panel if you only want one panel. But I quilted up both of these.
What number was that?
151. We might have duplicate numbers. I don't know. I couldn't concentrate. But S151 is for the two panels. And so Devin made fun of me last night because I made a project bag, and he said it was so ginormous that like he could fit in it. He said it's definitely a beach bag. So we do have this one. So basically I didn't add any embellishments except for this one. I added silk the crystals to it. So this is a pillow, and I'm going to get up close so you can kind of see the thread painting there. I don't know. I think Devin went to take the dog for a walk or something. And then I used this tiny little trim on the outside edge. So yeah, perfect. And then here I'm going to show you the other one. I made a tote bag, and I don't actually ever get to sew. I just like pay bills, order fabric, talk to people. So while I've been sick and the doors have been locked, we literally haven't opened the doors in 2 or 3 weeks here at Fabric Chicks. But while the doors have been closed, I've been just putzing around upstairs. And so I made this tote bag. But I haven't really made a tote bag before. So I did some interesting techniques. Karen said it was much harder than if I had done it with a lining. But I ended up doing like an overcast stitch here. But you can see the thread painting. Here, I'm going to pull it out so you can see the thread painting. So it's kind of like quilting, but I change my threads and things when I do it. So that gives texture on this side. So, and I did put pockets here, so you have one pretty side of the lining. But then I didn't want to cover up all my hard work. So it's kind of like an ugly side and a pretty side. And then I did add pockets here. But we didn't get this one kitted today. We can only do so much at this point. But so, and then I kind of did like a binding across the top. So this, I didn't add any crystals here. I just did the stitching, the thread painting. It is a big bag. I told Devin it was a market bag, but he said it was too big. If you're going to fill this with all your groceries, it's going to be too heavy for us to carry out. But I thought it was cute anyways. So that's what I did with panel 151. And then we do have, I haven't kitted up this one yet, but that is a pretty fun fabric. So if you need the black and white fabric, it's $13 a yard. Just put black and white fabric and how much you need. It was really nice being able to sew, Sandy. Okay. Lynn has an air. I know I'm going to have to get an air threader. Air threads the bottom loopers, but you still have to thread the top threads. Well, it's the bottom thread that I'm not able to thread at the moment, but we'll see when Lynn comes and teaches me the tricks. Okay, so if you want the kit for the pillow, we have it has the trim, the backing fabric, and the pillow fronts. So this is by Karen. Thank you. This is what we use for the backing of the pillow. And then because I didn't know, but Devin had some fabrics that go perfectly with these hidden behind the cash register. I saw them this morning when I was emptying the trash. So I would have probably used those with this, but this one works good too. So if you need the kit,
I don't know which one you're talking about.
I already took them and put them in the pile to take to Road to California. Okay, let's see. Most air threaders do both. Well, now that I've actually used the serger for 5 minutes, I might have to get an air threader. Okay, so if you want the kit for the pillow with the trims, the panel and the backing, S160 is $21. S160 is $21. And then if you just need the trim that we use, because you already have the panel, which most of you do, S153 is $1.25 a yard. S123 is $1.25 a yard. And okay, let me go see. I think there was one other order up there. So we hate that we have missed you guys, and that we have been such slackers. But this flu has really kind of kicked our rear ends. I'd be interested to hear if you like an air threader. I may need to exchange mine for one that's easier to thread. Well, on Wednesday, Lynn usually leaves before Phyllis gets here. I was going to say we could do kind of a quick, spontaneous live with Phyllis and Lynn so that they could tell us whether they like the air threaders. But Carolyn, what I've heard is that the people who have the air threaders, they love them. But I will say that when I was trying to figure out how to rethread the machine, there was a lot of controversy on Google, but who knows? The people that I know that have the air threaders love them. Okay, so do you want to do just a couple auctions, Devin, or
whatever you want?
Suzette, I'm glad Gracie didn't get it either, but I think she brought it to us originally. Okay, we're going to do, let me just, I don't know if I have enough energy for auction, But I do want to let you guys know that we have the February retreat. It's a mini retreat. What? It's full?
You do you. No, do what you want. We can squeeze as many people in here as you want. You do you.
Well, I think one room is full, but if we get more, we could split them up and have them in two rooms.
You do you. I don't mind. We can organize it however we want.
Well, we haven't counted in. So I don't know if there are some of you regulars, if you're coming to the February retreat. So we already kind of count in the ones who always come. So if you are coming to the retreat, let us know because Devin is doing final numbers and closing things out. So the mini retreat is February 19th through the 22nd. And then there was another date that I wanted to tell you guys about, but I don't. Oh, I have one more show and tell. Sandy, I hope we get better too. I had an old brunette surgeon from the 80s, got an air thread baby lock and would never go back. Ooh, that says something. Terracotta said she would never go back to the old machine. Okay, I do have a little show and tell. So I did a collaged jacket. So this is, here, I'll bring it over there so you don't have to. This is a sweatshirt, and I cut the sweatshirt open through the center. You want to make sure you get, like, you cut it at the exact center. You don't want to kind of eyeball this part. Cut the exact center open of a t-shirt. This is an old t-shirt that I have had forever, but I don't really care that it's kind of, looks like it's been worn on the inside. That doesn't bug me. So you can get your sweatshirts from anywhere. If you're going to let your sweatshirts partially show through, because you don't have to cover up everything, if you're going to let part of your sweatshirt show through, make sure you get a better quality one. But I took all of the random appliques and things, and I have like a pile of silks upstairs, and I just collaged it onto here. Like here, I just cut out a leaf because I didn't measure. I didn't, making clothes is kind of new for me. And the flower is actually, when I put it on, it's too far under my armpit. So I wish I had made it more like this. But I'd already sewed it on by the time I realized it. And so I just added a leaf to kind of offset it. But it was a lot of fun. It goes really quick because you just put all your different fabrics on top of your sweatshirt. And then I free motion stitched it, but you could use decorative stitches. You just want to kind of stitch around the raw edges. And then we had some outfits, super cute outfits. And the first time I ordered them, they fit basically one size fit all of us. But the second time I ordered it, it was for like a size 0. And so none of us could get our arms through it. So I think Judy at one of the mini retreats, we cut the sleeves off because Judy could wear it without the sleeves. So we cut the sleeves off. So I ended up with these weird sleeves. So I literally opened up the sleeves so they're not closed anymore. So my arms could fit through. And then I just sewed them on top of here. So that kind of gives a fun little look. The first one I stitched down because I thought it was going to be too floppy, but I actually like the one where it's not sewn down. But when I'm wearing it, you can't tell. And then I did my favorite trick taught to me by Connie Wiggins. I took that ribbon that we have a ton of that we usually have on like super good pricing sales. I took that ribbon, I ironed it in half, and then I sewed it on as a binding. And then I just did a different secondary one here. So just kind of something to give you some inspiration. I did pull the silks. I pulled it over and then ironed it under to create a finished edge here for the neckline. well, not so finished here. But so that's just kind of the other thing that we did. So let me see what your comments are. And Tara, I'll wear it on Monday. We'll do fashion show. Did you use satin and cotton fabrics? I used everything, Connie. I mean, and I used silks. I used I don't even know what these fibers are. I think these ones are silks, but this is a different silk. This is silk too, but a different silk. This is like a polyester, I think. And then here, this was in an upholstery bag, but it was the right color. These I think are silks, but this one had these weird strings hanging off of it. So I just left the strings on there. I think that this turquoise is a silk also, but as you know, when we do our Wednesday and Monday auctions, a lot of times none of us know what anything is. And so I kind of just go for the color. And then these were some appliques that I got from Eleanor, and she had made me a bag out of it. So now I've got a matching bag for this jacket. Suzette, the Merino fashion show is going to be amazing. I think we're going to have so many outfits. And Opal only gave us 45 minutes for the fashion show, but we might need much, much longer. We might need to have a whole afternoon fashion show. I don't know. I'm hoping the fashion show gets to be so much fun that we turn it into a much bigger event. Just because it's kind of fun because you can work on it all year long and really have something to show. Okay. Let's see. Did you do an overlock stitch on combining the different fabrics? No. I did. Here, getting real close here, Devin. I literally just did a squiggle stitch. It might have been my serpentine stitch, and then I pulled it through quicker because see here, sometimes it's not so consistent. So it probably was my serpentine stitch, but then that is probably a free motion stitch that I used just to attach it to the jacket. So it doesn't, so it's not, this isn't loose. You have to do something to attach it to the jacket. But I did not do any kind of special stitching. Once in a while, I would turn it under a 1/4 inch and then applique it on, but nothing special. And then I did, because I don't have a serger and I didn't want raw edges, I did do a French seam here. So I sewed it the opposite direction. I sewed the right sides. I sewed the wrong, let's see. I sewed the right sides together first. So I sewed down here, like a 1/4 inch down here. And then I flipped it around and I did a 1/2 inch here, or 3/8 of an inch here, so that I have a finished seam. Connie Wiggins taught me that. But that was the only thing. Everything else is just raw edge, pretty much sewn on. Okay. So that is basically all that we have for today. Trish, we're glad to be upright, although we are counting the minutes till we can go climb into bed. So this is my collage jacket, and we're going to I did write a pattern last night for it, but I probably need to double check it because, foggy brain. But we will be doing a class on collaging jackets and some other things we've kind of been experimenting with. And I know it's kind of the rage right now, all the embellished clothes, upcycled clothes, and different things. But the jeans were so easy. But I actually did it on Dockers, but jeans would be the same, where you just cut and put in a quilt on your leg. You cut in and do like a V shape to kind of give your pants a bell bottom. Although you could do a straight one if you wanted. I did see somebody do just like a like 4-inch squares all the way down the side of their legs. So you can do vintage, or you can sew together quilt blocks and then just add them to your clothes. So super fun. That's my hope the next few months is to really kind of delve into more creative sewing. We love to do traditional sewing, and Lynn has showed us how you can take your quilt tops and then cut them up and turn them into tote bags or whatever. Because really there are no rules. In the whole scheme of things, there is no rules. And do you not do fringe seams? Super easy. Connie showed us that at one of the mini retreats. That's what I love about the mini retreats is that you guys teach me a lot more than I ever teach you, because everybody comes with so much knowledge, and then you just kind of throw it into the mixing pot, and then we all take away so much. But the French seams are super easy so that you don't have a raw edge. I don't know if you can see that. So that's where I sewed my sweatshirt back together. I actually got some fibers in there. But it gives you a finished edge instead of your regular raw edge. And it makes it a little bit more secure. Okay, so that is all we have. Thank you guys for joining us. Sorry we're not doing an auction, but we don't feel like it. Hopefully we'll be strong enough to be able to pack so we can go to do the shows. And when we get back February 9th, we'll be able to be back to normal. But we will be doing lives from the road. So we will be doing lives from our booths. We'll be interviewing other vendors. So kind of set your alarms for spontaneous lives. Okay. I'm going to miss the mini retreat too. Stephanie, I feel ya. I feel like there's way too much going on. Thank you, Carolyn. We are going to get well. We're trying to, everybody keeps scaring me with relapsing. So I'm really, really trying to take it easy, which is very hard for me. Anyways, that's all we have for today. We'll see you soon. Love you guys. Love you. Have a good night.